Fossil of the day.
Good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, damas y caballeros, and everyone in between. It is with great pleasure that we present to you tonight the Fossil of the Day Award here at the COP23 UNFCCC Climate Summit at Bonn. It has been a long day of negotiations and many of you are tired. Can I see some tired negotiator faces? Very good, very good, very good. And today we have a special pleasure to be transmitting, for only the second time ever in history, a live stream into the Bonn Zone. So, hello to everyone in the Bonn Zone. And tonight, this will be a bit participatory, so I'm going to require all of you to engage a little bit. And when you hear something that you find really bad, I want to hear you all say, boo. Can we practice that? Boo. All right, come on, folks in the Bonn Zone, I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. You're really far away. This place is huge. It's out of control. So, for those of you who don't know, the Fossil of the Day Award is given each day to whichever country is the best at being the worst, who does the most to do the least, and who tries their hardest to make sure that we do not reach a fair, just, and binding climate agreement here in Bonn. And as many of you may know, we begin each day with the ceremonial Fossil of the Day song, a song that dates back to time immemorial, and I would like to invite all of you to sing with us today. Even if you're over there watching us digitally, we want to hear you sing too. Yeah, nice.
Of the day, fossil of the day, who is bad, who is worse? Fossil of the day, fossil of the day, all the blame, all the shame, fossil of the day.
Thank you. Not every day people applaud my singing. And tonight we have a special program because one of the things that's really important here at the UNFCCC is targets and sticking to them. So we have a number of targets here. I'd like to invite you all to come out. Some of them seem a bit bigger than others. Perhaps they should be slightly easier to hit. But today's fossil winner, let's see how they do with that. So, targets in formation, please. And I will be aiming right here at 2020. I have 2020 vision. This should be no problem. It's not too far away. How complicated could it be? A drum roll, please. Ooh, I seem to have missed the target. Let's try again. Drum roll again. Ooh, oh, this isn't going well. I hope you guys have private insurance, because I think that's how people want you to deal with this kind of thing. Let's try again. Last try. Oh no. Well, I mean, whatever. What a target's really for anyway. We don't really need these short-term targets. That is right. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, today's Fossil of the Day, first prize Fossil Award goes to, drum roll please. Our first fossil goes to Germany for increasing its emissions in 2017 and risking missing its 2020 targets for emissions reductions. Germany, our hospitable host, where did you go wrong? Is this the same country that provided funding to the Adaptation Fund last week? The so-called climate chancellor, who got G7 leaders to agree to decarbonize the global economy? Even our tired brains know that, yes, it is the same country and the same chancellor. But somehow, in the middle of all this, the German government seems to have forgotten about the most important part of being a climate leader, reducing your emissions. Come on, Germany. Now, there's no arguing with science, though some here certainly are trying. If your emissions go up, temperatures will not go down. And if your fossil fuel use goes up, you will not decarbonize the global economy. The preliminary emission statistics for Germany for 2017 were just released, and they were not pretty. German greenhouse gas emissions are going to increase this year due to an increase in oil, natural gas, and lignite consumption. German emissions have not decreased since 2009. Chancellor Merkel's successful governments have failed to address climate change at home for years. The Chancellor has preferred to listen to the fossil fuel industry, energy-intensive companies, and the powerful car makers rather than the people who demand strong climate action. Germany is currently projected to dramatically miss its domestic 2020 targets of 40% emissions reductions, unless the next government can decisively shut down the coal-fired power plants and also begins a low-carbon transition in the transport industry and agriculture sector. Germany, be the leader you can be. Could we have someone come up and accept this despicable award? Stand up on the pedestal. Here we are. Your flag. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, we are so proud to get this award. We will personally hand over this award to Chancellor Merkel tomorrow when she comes to Bonn. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That is great. The fossil directly to the climate chancellor herself. Fantastic. But that is not where our evening ends. Because far more things have been happening today, and like some of us have this ability to create problems. We might accidentally miss targets, and there might be casualties. But sometimes we can just make these problems go away. And I want to show you a little trick that I learned from today's second prize fossil winner. This will be without the microphone. So, is that if you have part of the text that you don't like, that you find part of the text, perhaps 2 paragraphs, are slightly unappealing, all you have to do is you just take them and you shove them into your hand as much as you can, and then you press really hard, and then eventually they're gone. And then you don't have to worry about those pesky little paragraphs anymore. But I think it's an important thing to know that for our today's second prize fossil winner, you cannot just make something inconvenient go away. Like our friends here. They're not going away anytime soon. But this does bring us to today's second prize Fossil of the Day award. Could we have a drum roll, please? Australia! And this is notable because it clearly puts Australia in the lead for the run-up to the Fossil of the Year award. Another day, another fossil for Australia. Someone seems to be keen on earning the colossal fossil. It is a continuing show of being the biggest bully on the playground. Yesterday, at a joint session on loss and damage, negotiators were debating about increasing the resources of the WIM, Warsaw International Mechanism, for those of you that aren't nerdy enough yet, and exploring new and innovative sources for support, which would give a stronger voice to the most vulnerable countries on Earth. However, Australia proposed to eliminate the 2 most important outcomes that the G77 was pushing for. Rather than being constructive and proposing solutions to allow a clear progress on loss and damage, Australia proposed to delete 2 essential paragraphs. 8, which included the creation on a permanent item for discussion about issues related to loss and damage under the SBI, and paragraph 18, which was an opportunity to explore sources of finance. What's more is Australia's made the proposal while the G77 coordinator was struggling to find consensus and agreement from superiors. Australia's attitude shows a sense of disregard for the important discussions on loss and damage. But hey, Were we really expecting something better from Australia? Boo, ladies and gentlemen, for our second prize Fossil. Can we have someone come up and accept this award? You should be ashamed of yourself. We're not even going to let you speak. If you want to stay there, you can. Yeah, please do. But our show does not end here, because sometimes something good happens. And we have to remember the real world consequences of what happens. That behind every missed target, there's another climate disaster waiting to happen. Behind every deleted paragraph, there are the people who are already suffering the impacts of climate change. And behind every deleted paragraph, there are people, real people, who are still dealing with the impacts of climate change today and need important action and support in their troubled times. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to present a very rare Ray of the Day award. This is something that's very rarely given out in Fossil and only goes out to those who are doing the most exemplary work to push forward a positive agreement. And today, we have just one such thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the very rare occasion I have the privilege of announcing a Ray of the Day is given to the G77. The developing country group G77 wins today's Ray of the Day award for joining together to stand up for vulnerable country members facing the worst impacts of climate change in the face of fierce opposition from rich countries. Joel Suarez Orozco, as the coordinator of G77, has for the first time since Warsaw brought together the group that has furthered the case for vulnerable countries to receive the support they deserve, in addition to pushing the loss and damage body to get a mandate from the COP that will allow it to be effective. In particular, a major contribution was made to the preamble, which states that parties note with concern the increased frequency and severity of climate-related disasters. This provided a concrete reference for confronting realities and not allowing those in Annex 1 countries to duck away. Australia. The G77 is standing behind those most vulnerable, the least developed countries and the small island developing states. However, this wasn't enough to convince the big bullies of Australia and the US. When asked about the recent climate-related disasters and the increased impacts, Australia acknowledged the events, but questioned if it was due to climate change. Mr. Orozco was quick to counter with an impassioned plea. When your island is destroyed, when the roof of your house is gone, you know it's climate change. At this Pacific COP, we cannot ignore those that are most vulnerable. We must take a stand. And we have the pleasure to invite up Joel Suarez Orozco to accept the Ray of the Day today. Thank you so much.
Well, it's difficult to talk in these moments. I feel really touched by this unexpected award that I'm just taking on behalf of my marvelous group of G77 and China, who did such an excellent job dealing with this issue, which is a matter of survival for us developing countries. So I won't take this personally. I will take it on behalf of my group, who stood together until the end, who fought together for a good result. And we are so happy, but we are also so concerned, because we know that this step today was a little one, but we have so much to do in order to face and address loss and damage as it should be, and address the implementation of the wars and international mechanisms as it should be. So I'm taking this award, but I'm doing this on behalf of those that have devoted all their life to face climate change and to save the world, and to change minds and change the way that we perceive the danger instead of changing the climate. So I thank you, my colleagues, because they did it awesome. They did it just great. And thank you all for this. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, damas y caballeros, and everyone in between, thus concludes today's Fossil of the Day Award. See us tomorrow and every night here at 6 p.m. to find out who's the best at being the worst, who does the most to do the least, and who is trying their hardest to make sure we do not advance towards a just and binding climate agreement.
Fossil